So I just want to teach you how you might be able to set up your console so that it goes across to a visualizer .2 3D. So I'm just going to quickly run you through how to do that. First of all, I'm going to start it up. And while that's starting up, I'll show you the next bit in here. Okay, that's started up. Nice one. And back in here. So now we've got some effects, but let's see what these actually look like a bit better. I'm going to go to Setup. Then I'm going to go to Session. I'm going to go to Start and choose a slot. I'm going to press Add. And then I'm going to find my computer name 3D. Wait for it to go green. There it is. And what I'm looking for back over here in .2 is I'm looking for the green heart. If this shows a red heart, a little broken heart, then that means it hasn't got sync with the console. At the moment you can see my lights are shining on a drum kit. I added the drum kit by going down here to Instruments, and in fact I think under Musicians there's a drum kit with a player, and here are the lights. If you want your lights to look like this rather than just little kind of squares, over here in your assets list, select the light. You can select the last light, you can do all of them at the same time. Right click, choose change model, and in here choose generic. Otherwise it will kind of come in as one of these flat panels, and they're pretty boring in how they look. The generic LED, so this one is LED par short, there's a generic LED par long. This one's pretty close to what we've got in the steps. So press OK, and it will just map those light types to that. Now just a bit on how to control this software. If you have something selected, so if I select just one light, I get this gizmo with axes on it, and I can grab the axes and click and drag it to move it. Now I can go to rotate here, and I can rotate it to make it shine in different directions. And if I want to get a different view so I can see how things are lining up a bit better, I right click with my mouse, and you can see that on the top left there's a little control that allows you to use your scroll wheel to choose between move. So if I now move my mouse, I move the environment around. And if I go to panning, I can kind of move the pan and tilt, so like as if a camera is on a tripod from the current position. If I go to orbit, it uses the currently selected object, and you can move around that. So whatever's currently selected, so that's pretty useful. And then obviously if you go down to zoom, side to side zooms in and out, but you can also use the scroll wheel on its own to do that. Pretty useful. So last thing I wanted to show you just quickly is with these lights, they've come in, they're all different sizes. Select a light. Over here you've got the properties for that asset. They all have properties. The stage has properties. The drum kit has properties. Everything has size and position, and it's in meters. So essentially you can easily measure using a measuring tape the space that you're going to use, the assets you're going to put into it, and make them as accurately as possible the size you're gonna use. So you can see down here I've got a realistic sized one. Okay, so that's pretty much the same size as the ones we've got in the steps. So you can see I can adjust it so it shines in whatever direction I really want. Something like this, something like this. The idea is if it's shining in the right direction, you should be able to get it to shine, and you should be able to see the light on a participant like a musician. You can see that showing on the musician there. Okay, I hope you found that useful.